My high school teacher tried to sleep with me. When I was a junior in HS, there was this gym teacher who used to flirt with all the guys. Let's call her Ms. Clark. Ms. Clark was recently divorced and probably late 20s or early 30s at the oldest. She used to dress indistinguishable from the girls in our school. I went to HS from 08, 09, 11, 12. So much so that if you were walking down the hall, you sometimes wouldn't notice her unless you took a look. As a 16-year-old kid, anyone older than age 22 looked like a grown adult, so that's how you would spot her. Oh, and those corny lanyards teachers always wear. It all started my junior year when she arbitrarily picked me and my table of friends to be her friends at lunch. Each lunch period had about 5 lunch monitors that were teachers to oversee the kids and make sure nothing bad happened. I went to a super nice public school, nothing bad ever happened. We would always complain about our lunches from home, they were perfectly fine lunches, and how she always was bringing in good food. She started bringing in food for us pretty regularly. It started with a couple tacos from Taco Bell, and then escalated to Chipotle and sub joints, etc., etc. It got to a point where teachers and other students would make comments to us out of jealousy and spite. We were all athletes and well-known, so word got around fast that Ms. Clark had a crush on us. I always wrote it off in my head and was honestly just happy with the free food. Side note. As I am writing this now, it's made me realize how ridiculous the relationship was with us and her. We would talk about getting drunk and hooking up with girls and partying all the time right in front of her at lunch. This is where it gets interesting. Flash forward to the next semester. At this point, Ms. Clark is basically a friend of ours. At the beginning of the semester, everyone has to take a gym class. She came up to me one day and asked if I would be interested in being her gym leader for freshman swimming. I kinda got a weird vibe about it, but honestly knew it would be an easy A and I could probably just chill, so I said yes. Everything was going fine, normal, until one day she asked me to stay after class, and she had to show me something. I thought nothing of it at the time. Once the bell rang, the freshmen got changed and walked off the pool deck. I was standing on the pool deck waiting for Ms. Clark to come out of the office. I then heard a faint yell come from the office. We were the only 2 people in there, so I figured I would see what was happening. As I got closer, I realized she was calling my name. I walked into the office only to see another set of doors. I have never been in the office. The office was dim and nobody ever used it, so I walked through and went through the next set of doors. As soon as I opened the door, I realized it was the female coach's locker room. I only knew that because for swimming some days, she would change and get into heat pool to teach the kids different strokes, etc., etc. The locker room was a tight corridor that turned left at the end. She poked her head around the turn and smiled and urged me to come back. I obliged and kept walking. At this point, I knew. It all came rushing to me. The last 4 months was just a massive grooming session for this moment. I get around the corner and see 2 dresses hanging from her locker. A red and black one. Ms. Clark puts them both up to her and asks in that stupid cute girl voice, "Which one would look better on me for a dinner date?" I couldn't even sputter out words, I was so taken back, and just blurted out, "The red one." She then came close to me and put one hand on my hip and the other hand lightly grazing the outside of my crotch and leaned in to kiss me. As we were 0.01 seconds from kissing, the outer pool deck door slammed, ended up being a janitor, and she jumped out of her skin, almost looked like she saw her life flash before her eyes, and raced out to the office and quickly ushered me out. She told me she would see me later. The rest of my HS days, she would flirt with me all the time. I never told anyone about this. Once I graduated, she hit me up one time, but I never did anything about it. I am glad I didn't, but